have no, not this one. Okay. I guess everyone is seeing my screen, right?
Yeah, your screen is available.
Okay, that's awesome. All right. So I'm going to share a short presentation to actually introduce the speaker. Yeah. So as it is clearly written, we just want to take this time to say welcome to SES webinar. So SES stands for the School of Continuing Studies. In our motto or aim is to empower lifelong learners. So we believe that learning is never ending or a kind of continuous process. So when we hear about SES, that's the first thing that should actually come to your mind, like continual learning. So as part of the continual learning, we have a monthly seminar or webinar where we invite a different speaker, people from diverse background or from different professions to share their personal in life experiences with us. Yeah. So, but before I get to the actual topic for today, or to the speaker, to introduce the speaker, I just want to give you a kind of idea, like who are those beyond SES. So there are other people who are also part of SES who are not here, or you won't see their picture here. So we have the founding members. So we have like Sam is here. Samuel K. Decker. He's a lecturer at the University of Liberia. He's a co-founder and also the CFO of CSE, and of course, I'm also the co-founder and the CEO of SCS. I'm Jackson. I'm a computational scientist, and I do SAR also, by the way. Yeah, so that's it. So these are some of the people at the forefront of SES, but in subsequent time, we introduce other people. There are other people also working behind the scene, but in subsequent time, you will get to know them. So for now, these are people you can have a kind of direct interactions with or personal relationship with when it comes to the day-to-day affairs of SES. So just to give you a kind of intro, like we said already, so we believe in empowering lifelong learners, and we believe that learning is never ending, is continuous, and we also want to provide a kind of like equal opportunity for everyone to be able to learn. So we created a kind of platform where you can be able to learn at your own pace, anytime, anywhere. So so these are some of the goals or some of the objectives or the long-term or short-term goals we have. And in our SES, our students or learners have access to all of the materials. They have lifetime access. So what we use the cloud computing or we use cloud storage. So you have lifetime access to all of the materials. And we do our best, for you to be aware of the latest trend when it comes to technology. Yeah, so we are online platform, so we ensure that you have like you should be able to use some of these technology. There are lots of them. We're going to introduce them in other courses, like introduction to artificial intelligence or AI, or system engineering, software, or coding, etc. And of course, to get to the actual topic for tonight, the path to becoming a software engineer. So today we are thrilled to introduce Musa A. He's commonly known as Omo. So he's a developer. He's a software engineer and a lead developer on one of the top company in Turkey. It's called Tamamliyo. So he's a lead developer. And interestingly, he's also the co-founder of Omomake Liberia. So if you are unaware, Omomake is a kind of online platform where sellers and buyers interact. So you have your product, you can upload your Omomake on their website. If someone is interested in your product, they're going to contact you and you can do the arrangement. So he's one of the co-founder, or he one of those who actually created the platform, and he's thinking of like rebranding the platform so that it can be much more easier so that people can be able to do online shopping with credit cards and so forth. Yeah. So on behalf of SES, we are really delighted to have Musa A to share his personal and professional experiences with us. He's one of the best minds from Liberia. We are actually happy to have him here. So I just want to say welcome. I'm going to turn over we just say the pendulum over to him, and you just sit and enjoy the webinar. Yeah. So, Omo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jackson.
Yeah, welcome. So I'm going to stop sharing actually, and you can just take over. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that brief introduction. And I am honored to be invited by your team to bridge this seminar as well. Like Jackson said, I think he said it all. There is nothing much that I can actually add up to that. But what I can say, I'm a day-to-day learner. There are a lot of things I've learned from Jackson. Even when I started writing articles, he's the first person that kind of like told me. I think the first and only person that told me about me writing, like using my experiences, like turning it into a writing to help other developers out there to overcome some of the challenges that they have been having. I have been working for the past 6 years. Yeah, and mostly I was working as a freelancer. I work with a lot of companies from America while freelancing, and that of Australia and Ghana as well. And now I'm working full time in Turkey. So like Jackson said, let's go straight to why we are here. And so people that are interested in knowing how, like the path to becoming a software engineer it is, and what are some of the challenges and some of the things that you don't have to be afraid of. So I'm gonna share my screen, and if there is any questions while I am explaining, feel free to ask your questions so that we can all learn today. Jackson, can you give me access to sharing the screen?
Okay, sorry, I'm going to do that. No, just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, now you can go ahead.
Okay.
You have been given access to share your screen.
Yep, I just did that. Can you see my screen? Is my screen accessible?
Yes. Yeah, it's available.
Okay, great. Well, like I said, who is this one instead? Not this one. Okay. Yeah. Well, the path to become a software engineer. This is one of the questions that I'm always asked by people, and not just and other people, mostly people in Turkey as well, and other friends back home. And it might sound tricky or a bit difficult, but believe me, it is not as the name kind of like suggests it to be. It is not anything difficult. It is so simple. And I am a lead developer at Tamamliyo, and Tamamliyo is into the health insurance sector. We build health insurance services for companies here in Turkey, and also we have a branch in Germany as well. And I'm working as a lead developer, like Jackson said earlier on. And I'm also working as a software engineer for copycom.com.tr. They are into telecommunication services, just like MTN in Liberia. We build new SIP and VOP, voice over the internet protocol, to build software for hospitals and that of the ministries here in Turkey as well, and offices. And I'm a co-founder of Umake. Umake was the first project that was built by me in 2017, along with my friend Michelle Tukba. And till now, we still have it going. We are thinking about rebranding it anytime soon, probably in the next 2 or 3 months. And let's go to the main topic. Well, introduction. The best thing about becoming a software engineer, you first have to get like the passion. That's the most important thing because without passion, trust me, you might find it difficult, but not because it is difficult, but because there is nothing to keep you pushing, like to make you keep going for it. Tech when it comes to technology, it is growing, and every one of you might be hearing the news, the latest trends about everything that are happening, and you have the freedom of working from anywhere, home or whatsoever. And if you see, there are a lot of people that are embarking on a journey today. It can be the building of new artificial intelligence, new 3D software that can enable people to view things, and then the NTF that have to deal with the tokenizations, buying this cryptocurrency, using cryptocurrency to buy stuff and things in the NTF world. And imagine the most exciting thing about becoming a software engineer, like building things from scratch, like building things through imagination. Like someone comes with things that they just like think about it, but then you have to build that thing and then other people will be able to access that. So just imagine you being like the mastermind behind this. This is something that I think if you really have passion for doing anything, you should give software engineering a try. And it is not difficult. I will always keep saying that. It is so simple. Yeah. Okay. Let's say maybe in here we might have some people that might have tried programming before or might have tried researching about how programming is like, and or you can be a seasonal programmer that have been coding for a long period of time. Or in today's seminar, if there is any myth that have been stopping you from pursuing your dream, like that passion for this field, you will be able to get rid of that fear. And there are a lot of things that you also learn to take with you today. And there are a lot of things required. We always think that, yeah, the educational pathway is important, of course, but there are some skills that you need to have, which is the thinking skills. And you can go to the best universities or whatever, but if you don't have like some personal skills to kind of like implement into your day-to-day life as a software engineer, there are lots of challenges that you have to overcome. So what are the importance of software engineers in developing and maintaining technology? Because there are two things. If you're a software engineer, you have to do your day-to-day life will be you either be building new software or you maintaining old software. And trust me, maintaining old software is way too is I think one of the most boring part because it's something that was probably written 10 or 15 years ago by someone and it cannot be upgraded to the expectations of today's technology. So you just have to keep maintaining. And majority of this software doesn't have documentation, so you have to do a lot of research on your own and understand someone's like you have to travel back in time. That's the thing about maintaining old software. But at the same time, it's fun because you're learning about things that happened back in the days. But if you're a software engineer, like there are so many things that people forget. They think software engineering is just about programming. No, it is not about programming. It is more about thinking, design, and architecture because programming is like the last thing. That's like is the tool, like the tool that you use to implement the design that you have already carried out in your head. And there are contributions instrumentals in shaping our digital world. Like for example, there's I heard of news that currently happened in Liberia during this election registration, and it was interesting. I was excited about that, learning that we now have people can now register for like, get their voting card through digital means. I think we are improving in that field, and that's encouraging. And that's a sign that the youth, like the Liberian youth, should try to seek path in getting into software engineering, like discovering a lot of things on their own, because the opportunities outside in this field is allowed. And trust me, if you build yourself for it, You won't be limited to Liberia. You have opportunities everywhere. So software engineers work closely with multidisciplinary people. Like, for example, we work with scientists, we work with data analysts, and we work with UI UX designers. These people, they do research. We also work with the marketing department because they are the one that directly interact with the clients, and based on what the client needs, that's what they kind of like send back to the engineers, the engineering department, and the engineers have to like implement that things into a working solution for the client to use. So we coexist. It's not like a software engineer is just someone that stays on their own. We all work together. We share, and then we take from this person, carry to that other person, and then put everything together to get one result. So software engineering is a multidisciplinary field. It's not just one thing. And let's say the skills and knowledge. For me, this is the most important thing that I always tell people whenever they ask me about software engineering or how they can become a software engineer. Well, the programming language, of course, you need to learn at least one or two programming language, depending on what you want to do. And Python, that's one of the most used programming language now because it can be used for web development. It can be used for medical research. It can be used for data analysis. It can be used for machine learning. And it can be used for artificial intelligence. So there are so many things you can do with Python. So many things with Python. Java is the most used programming language in the banking sectors. If you have interest about working with like in bank, maybe building software as well as for hospitals as well, but it is mostly used in banking sectors, in that of in government agency and things. So we come to C++. C++ is mostly for game development, but I think it is the base language of all the modern languages out here, all the modern software languages. It is the base language for everything. If you are into game development, you're into building operating system like Windows or Mac OS or Linux and stuff, they all have a partial of C++ in it. So it all depends on what you really have passion for. That's why at least you should find something that you enjoy. It can be any other programming languages. Find that, stick to that, have fun with that, enjoy that, and start building software using that. Well, analytical thinking. Analytical thinking is something that to be like to be like straight. If you cannot think, you cannot become a software engineer because it is all about what you think, solving a problem. And how you're going to solve a problem, you have to think. And how you're going to think, you have to be able to implement the bigger picture into a smaller like break it down into a smaller step, small case scenario, like step by step, and then get the result that you want. That's why you have to be good at thinking, and you have to be good at analyzing problem. And then we come to data structure. Every software engineers had problem or they are currently having problem with this. But that doesn't mean without it you cannot do anything. But the procedures and the importance of learning data structure, it helps make you build scalable softwares that can be used for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And whenever there is any new feature to be added, it won't create problem for the existing features that are already there. That's why if you have if you have good knowledge on data structure and algorithm, you'll be able to solve so many problems. And without these two, there is actually no software. And the funny thing about it, they are not things that you can see, but they are just a step guide that you use to solve problems. And for example, let's say you are given a task to just build a game, and in this game at once you can only allow two players to play, and player one and then player two, but then player one and player two cannot make a move at the same time. Like one person have to kind of like move first before the next person thinks about moving, and that's when when data structure comes in place, and then the logic that you're also going to write to accompany this step. So data structure is very, very important. And if you're interested in software engineering, try to learn it, not master it, but just know how it works. And then software dev methodologies. You know, the methodologies that we use for big companies, mostly it is Agile or Scrum. My company will uses Agile. The Agile system is where in which you have like you are assigned a task, and your task it is probably okay. I think I should just show you guys how it look like from the insurance company it's gonna be, and then that might help you see what I'm really talking about. I'm gonna share my screen here. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen so you can see. I think we should show you since it is about the real world problem. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's available.
Yeah, like you can see right here, you see we have, these are the team members here, and the task, this is the backlog, things that are pending that we have to work on, and this is the to-do things that we have to do, and things that we are currently doing right now, services that we're working on right now. You can see these are tasks that have been assigned other developers, and this is the service that I'm also working on right now. This was, I think, a few days ago, yesterday. So this is where people are assigned tasks, and then if there's a bugs and you do that, this is one of the methodologies that companies do use, and this is what my company, my current the insurance company use. For the other company, we use Jira, and Jackson already know how Jira is. Jira is also another form, but that system is a bit different from what you are currently seeing now. So let's go back to where we were. So like I said, you have to know these things, but it doesn't mean you have to master it. But if you are thinking about working with international companies, these things are very important, and they will help you track your progress, what you have to do, the delivery time, and where you have problem. And also, your maybe you happens to move to another company, you're not working there, and the software you built during that time, that software is not having a problem or bug or whatever. But the new developer or software engineer can easily track things that you work on, understand that, and then be able to make contributions right away. Okay, the educational pathways. This is one of the things that a lot of people fight in turn when it comes to choosing. We have the traditional one, which is getting a bachelor degree in computer science or computer engineering, or any other related field. It can be any other engineering field as well. And then we have coding boot camps and online courses. This is actually one of the most, I think, the most growing field that a lot of people are actually changing career on using this one, the coding boot camp and online courses. And we have I think two people. One is a mathematician, but he's our QA. He does testing. Whenever we build new software, before deploying it, he test it. He read automation tests for it. He was a mathematician. He studied math in university, but then he decided to change career path, and he went for a boot camp, this online boot camp and online courses. And now he's working as a QA tester. We also have a electrical engineer. For him, he did electrical engineering, but he also went through this same path. And now he's working as a front end engineer as well. So, like, the field is not limited to just university, but university can help you have easy access to getting job, to getting internship, to getting to understand the theoretical aspect of how software work, the background. Bootcamp, it will make you like, it will give you the practical, direct practical knowledge on how the real world softwares are built. So you're just going to start with the real world, the theory, and all other things that happen beyond. You won't have access to that. But if you are curious during your free time, you can go to like do a lot of great things. Like, I think lately the best software engineers, majority of them, they're actually from boot camps than that of university. And self-study, this is actually the most challenging part, because you have no guideline, no path to follow, no mentor, no one to tell you this is what you have to do. So you're always fighting between studying this, studying that, and kind of like at times getting stuck in the middle without knowing what to do next or where to go. But at the end, if you can do self-study and online resources on your own, trust me, you can be one of the best software engineers out there. It is not just limited to going to university. Trust me, not university, but there are so many options that you can use. But if you have the chance of going to university, that would be great, because you have easy access to informations, and professors will give you all the necessary materials and tools you need to be able to like get your foot. At least you'll be like 5 steps ahead of people that are learning on their own. But at the same time, there's always opportunities out there for everyone. and then gaining experience. You know, after learning, you graduated or maybe you completed your boot camp. What's next? Like this is the most asked question. What's next? What are you gonna do? You need to like gain experience. And how are you gonna gain experience? You have to work. And how are you gonna work? You have to apply. And trust me, this is one of the things that people don't talk about in software engineering. Uh, to get you can to just be called for interview, that doesn't mean you're gonna get the job because the interview process is mostly 3 or 4 based on the company's culture. So the first one, the HR is gonna call you for interview. They will ask you questions and stuff and things, and then after that, they're gonna give you a project, and they'll give you like 2 3 days to solve that project, the questions and things. Some company it will be like live. You have to go live and solve this project. Maybe it will ask you some question, technical questions, and you'll be able to solve like a problem within a code live. And after that one, they'll move you to the design part where, because as a software engineer, you also have to be good at creating diagram, building. Before you start building the code, you have to like be able to illustrate how the system is going to work by using NA tools. And one of the most used tools is the uh, you have heard about what's this thing name? Figma. Figma is one of the most used tools out there for UI, UX, and that of building prototype for softwares and stuff. And then we have Freeform. This is actually on MacBooks, Mac users. I will show you how Freeform look like, so you can get some basic knowledge on that. Like this is how Freeform is like. This is one of the systems that we are currently working on, and this is diagram, just a basic diagram on the database architecture that we are just designing. We are not done yet, and some companies will ask you to build things like this in like the second phase of the interview or the third phase, and you have to explain. And after building this, you have to implement this thing into a code. So it's not difficult, but it is all about like being consistent and then having passion for it. Because if you don't have passion for it, that's when it becomes more difficult. But trust me, it is not. And by gaining experience, you apply for job, you get the job, and you start working, you start learning, you have mentor, you have people telling you what you have to do. And based on the technology the company is using, you have to learn new things, you have to adapt to the culture, you have to be good at communicating with your co-workers, and you have to be able to complete your tasks on time. And because majority of the task, it is probably 2 3 days. Only like important features can go like a week, a month, or 3. I mean, like it's something new that like is gonna take like a whole lot of time. But it's always 2 3 days, maybe 1 day time. So it is one of the most fast speed field. Like you have to be very fast as bringing your code to production for the company. If you fail to do that on time, you might not stay long within that company. And then networking. Networking is very, very important. And that's one of the things I really admire about the School of Continuous Study, because they are providing these means to the Liberian youth and people in Liberia to be able to like come together, learn, and then network. Because every participant here today, we are all at the end of the day or at the end of this seminar, we're going to network in one or two ways. And by networking, based on what I think you are good at, if I have the opportunity, I can easily link you to whosoever that is seeking someone to fill in that gap. That's why networking is so important. And my favorite place that I do my networking is on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn gives you access to so many companies, so many investors, or a lot of people that are already working in your field or in any other field. So networking is important. Try to network, try to meet people that are in your field, communicate with them, share your project with them, share your idea with them, tell them this is what I'm working on. Could you help me? Could you tell me what I can do? Or ask the person, like I'm into the health insurance sector. I'm also into the telecommunication sector. So if you are probably in one of these fields, you want to learn how this system work here in Turkey, you can easily ask me how can I be able to build myself to meet the standard of the technology culture here in Turkey. And then I will tell you, okay, this is what you have to do. These are the things you have to do based on my experience and my connection. And if you're like, okay, how can I get a remote job? Trust me, there was a company that I was working with called Verde Incorporated. There are a Turkish company that builds software for e-commerce marketing. Like they do something like drop shipping from Amazon, Walmart, and things. And there was a Nigerian developer, a guy living in Nigeria. He was also working with us. A guy in India also working with us. So I think whenever I think about it, but then I have never come across any Liberian living in Liberia that are that like, at least we can say, yeah, they can be able to work with other companies and things. It's not impossible. It is possible. It is happening. Others are doing it. But the limitation we have, we kind of like think we learn just for Liberia. But trust me, if we change the mentality of learning for the entire world and then sending our CV out there for these remote jobs, there are lots of opportunities we can benefit from. I'm working from home, like I work from home and I don't need to go to the office. It's only when it is required. I don't even need to, I don't have to. And the guys that we also work with at that previous company, they were in Nigeria. It was just the meeting we used to have in the morning and in the evening time. So please, don't limit yourself. Try to network with people in and outside Liberia. Use LinkedIn. Make great use of LinkedIn. You can apply to 200 jobs. They will accept you or not, but keep applying. The more you apply, the more you learn. Because whenever you get a feedback, positive or negative, that means there's something you have to work on, or that particular company is not like your qualification doesn't suit that company's culture. So please network, build the bond, keep learning, keep growing. And then landing a job. Okay, your first job, how are you gonna land it, your first job? Because majority of the thing, I don't really know much about the technologies that are being used in Liberia, but I do believe the technologies that are being used in Liberia are mostly old technologies that doesn't really meet the standard of the modern technologies currently being used by other companies out here. But to land a job, it's not like I said, you shouldn't limit yourself to Liberia. First, if you learn, like you go, like you went to university or you learn on your own, or you probably studied, maybe went for a boot camp, or you graduated from the school of continuous study, the best way to land a job is to be able to first contribute to open source project. Like open source project is one of the best and easiest way to market yourself as a software developer. Because uh, your open source project, every little contribution you make on that project, people keep seeing it. And once you send your CV in for any job, the company that the first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna track your Git, your GitHub, your Bitbucket, your GitLab account. I will give details about these things at the end of the meeting. They will see what are the things that you have done for the past few months. What were your contribution? What are the things that you made changes to? And once they see that they are like open source project that you contributed to, they're gonna be excited to give you the chance to work with them. And they will give you though you can be home making like $2,000-3,000 from your comfort of your house in Liberia. You don't even need to do anything. It's possible, even $3,000, depending on the company. If you have the opportunity, you learn a job with European company or whatever. There's a possibility of earning more than that, and all at the like from the comfort of your house, like sitting home and doing that. So you know, once you have completed it, don't say, oh, I'm not lame. So my man, family work, let me go talk to your brother and give, we have to change our mentality. Let's think outside. Let's think outside Liberia. So don't say you're gonna sit maybe, I don't know, second, Lone Star, whatever, they give you 200, 300, maybe 1,000 a year at the end of the month, but then you don't have the opportunity of improving yourself. You always have to build yourself to meet the international market standard, because as long as you're meeting the international market standard, the more opportunities you have to earn more money in the software engineering field. Software engineering field is mostly about experience. It's not about, that's why once you get a bachelor degree, you don't need to go for master unless you're thinking about going to the academic field. Or maybe you want to become a project manager, you don't want to code, you don't want to build, or you just want to manage software engineers. That's okay, you can go and do your master and become a project manager. Uh, Career growth and opportunities. So, for example, the career growth and opportunities for me, I'm mostly specialized in web development and API development. I build API services most often. Like that's actually my everyday work. These would the APIs, the web services will be for third party. We build API for mobile phones integrations, and we build API for web, like it can be any web and any computer service, like it can be any computer application as well. We build API for that. And you can be like into the development of artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cyber security. You can be like SQL engineer, someone that have to deal with the database, and you can be QA, testing the software and things. There are so many fields that you have options to grow in, and you can be a data analyst. Now, the field, there are a lot of things. So it's not just because you're software engineer, so you have to know everything. You just have to be good at one thing, master that. Like for me, I'm not gonna say I know everything. Like my main domain is into the web development, building APIs, especially APIs, and then designing software architecture, the flow chart. These are things that I'm really good at, and that's where I'm focusing on. And I'm mostly concentrated on the back end side. I don't like working with front end. So you can make money just from front end. You can make money from back end. You can make money from both. So don't limit yourself. Get ready. Do all that you think is necessary to shape your future, because within the next 10 to 20 years, technology is going to be everywhere, and we shouldn't think that Liberia will be what it is. There are a lot of opportunities coming in Liberia, but if Liberia reaches that stage of evolving compared to current advanced countries, you should be part of the people that will be like ready to meet the new opportunities that will come along with it. And that can be done through empowering yourself by learning new things in your career. Conclusion. Okay, I know this might have been a bit fast, but as we have reached the end of this, I hope you have gained some valuable insight. But to not make it that way, I would prefer for us to go into a Q, question and answer, because I believe that there are things that I might not have been able to discuss here, but based on your thought and the questions that you already have in your mind, we can be able to have interactive seminar where your questions or problems or whatever, I'll be able to share that. But to get to that, I will show you what I meant by the Git, where you can contribute to open source project. And okay, GitHub. So here we are, and this is my GitHub account. This is important. You have to, if you are thinking about becoming software engineer, you have to get account right here. And for example, if a company wants to employ you, they'll be like tracking all the things that you have done, the last time you made a push, the changes you made to your code, what are some of the projects you have contributed to, and your repository. These are open repository and things, Bookerad, Airtime, and this is private project. Actually, I've shown this, and this is all market code base that we talk about. And so these are some of the things you'll be able to do once you get yourself into this feed. And not to waste your time, I'll keep you guys here for long because I know the internet activity by com is a bit different. I would like for us to go to the question and answer part, where if you have anything you want to ask, you can ask your question. Eddie said no audio, so guys, I think that's it. If there is any question, I will be excited to hear answer your questions and things. So
yeah, okay. So many thanks to our presenter for the day. That was really brief and sweet. And when we are having an interactive presentations of such, that's the best thing to do, because there are a lot of questions reading on people's minds they might want to ask and stuff like that. So thanks for sharing your personal experience, saying they say, and also telling us how you were able to have succeeded and working in a foreign country as a Liberian. That's a great achievement. We should all be proud of you in that case. And you actually stress few other things that which I think is great, as it relates to telling us to think outside the box, not just to limit ourselves to the Liberian society. You don't just learn, and those are some of the reasons why we have SES here, because you sit back there in Turkey, we sit here in Liberia right now, and we are having, an interaction with one another, getting to hear from you. It would never have been possible without the link from SES. So we also have to think outside the box and see how we can collaborate with other people from the rest of the world and work together with them. Thank you so much in that regard. And
Thank you very much.
one of the things I really admire, as you said, is working from home. I mean, if you can work from home, that clearly indicates that since indeed you're working from home, somebody or anywhere around the world, even if you had a trip to leave from Turkey, maybe go to the United States, Europe and stuff, you can still be doing your work. You know, you're not going to say, let me send a letter of resignation or let me pause my job because I'm traveling, you know, and stuff like that. So those are some of the, you know, things that I really do admire as it relates to this particular field. So, I mean, we will take questions from, you know, people that are here. And if you have anything or you might want to pursue a career in this area as it relates to what level of qualification is enough to become a software engineer, I think questions like that, others might be willing to ask them. So let's just look at those of us that are here. If you got any question, you can put the file.
Thank you, Mr. Deeke. That was great of you, and your feedback is limited.
Yeah, so I think I will put my question first. Let me just say that that's been ringing on my mind. So, what level of education is enough in the field of software engineering? A technical, vocational, you know, level education, or maybe just focusing in the software area, is it enough to work in a particular field?
Yeah, like I said, you know, you don't really need the traditional education to work to be a software engineer. There are lots of opportunities out there, self-taught and that of boot camps. But it is advised that obtaining a traditional education will give you easy access to get employment and internship opportunity. But it is not like that. You know, you don't need any formal education actually, but you can teach yourself if you have the time by reading books and learning what interests you. Maybe you want to be a game developer. You can buy books related to that, or maybe you can register for online course and learn about that. Like maybe, let's say, School of Continuous Studies can also provide a full course on how someone can become a software engineer. And once they complete this course, the courses that are required by School of Continuous Studies, they can automatically become a software engineer. But then the difference between that will be like the individual, like are they having that courage to go out there and put their CV out to companies that they think they will be qualified to work with. You don't actually need any formal education. No.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I see Timothy Martin wants to talk, but you could just put, I see your hands up, but you got to unmute yourself. You got to press on your mic because your mic is off. Just click on the mic. Okay, good. We can hear you now.
Yeah, you can get me, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is my first time, you know, joining you guys today. And I really appreciate you guys for creating this platform for learning. And my diet is, I don't know, within a week, how many times we can have the class or we will be online for the technical education. Are you there?
Yeah, I think Mr. Deeke can answer the question.
Yeah, we hear you. Come back again. Sorry.
I'm saying in a week, how many times, like in a week, there how many days will be online for this meeting?
Okay. Yeah. So for what we're having right now is a seminar. We have monthly seminar that we can have on the monthly basis. So now that we have had this May, June, we are likely to have another one at the end of June or at the beginning of July. This is just the seminar. Besides the seminar, we have regular classes. So we have regular classes that we can have Mondays to Saturdays at SCS. So for now, we have Chinese language program running here, like 2 Chinese classes. We have Introduction to Elementary Chinese. We have Advanced Chinese. We also have Python, which is a programming course ongoing right now at SCS. And we have Internet for Everyone ongoing. And we already trying to set up the courses for the next semester. So like Timothy, if you are willing to join, for example, which will be next semester, then you will have to just register or pre-register for those courses, and then the next semester starts, then you can enroll. So basically that's how SCS runs.
Okay. Yeah, I will let you guys do me a favor. Send me your schedule or your courses. Just send me details, then I can choose from it and see how I can go through the process, the registration, how it can be, or how will I go through the process. Just send me the detail, then I can start. Yeah.
No problem. I guess you in one of the are you in one of the groups already or not?
I just joined the group. My friend Nathan added me to this group.
Okay, good.
I just come in online, but what I got specific group that you have to be part of, I don't really know yet. I just come in online my first time.
Okay, so I will type my number here, and then you can just get my number and send me a message later on and call me.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So if we have anyone else, you can, bring a question. I'm going to give my number to you.
Any question, guys? Are you curious about anything relating to software engineer or my day-to-day life as a software engineer?
Or the recent happening in the information world,
Yeah. Anything? Any question? You curious about anything? Or it can be anything relating to my day-to-day life, working as a software engineer here in Turkey, living here, and what are some of the challenges? If you want to know.
Okay. I want to come in shortly, and thank you so much, for the presentation. I really love it, like how brief it was, and then straight to the point. So like, can you give us a kind of like overview or kind of the way you guys build like Umo market? Someone may be wondering how was it built? For instance, if I want to build a platform, for example, how did you go about doing this? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe someone may be wondering what is Umo market? How was it built? Because at that time you have not had this experience you already have. I think that was your very first project. So can you elaborate on that more?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Omomake. Well, Omomake, I rebranded Omomake like three times. And this question, I love this question, like seriously, because we have one of the biggest problem in our Liberian setting, and that is we like to criticize people a lot. And criticism really helped me, and that's what I can say. When I was in Ghana, I saw something called tonaton.com, and the Ghanaian people were using this thing to like you could leave home and buy anything, and it will be delivered at your house, or you can meet that person anywhere. And then it came to my mind. I said, in Labrador, we don't have this kind of things. So if someone wants to sell something, we have to write for sale, for example, or car for sale. Keep passing around from place to place. So we are consuming fuel, we are consuming gasoline, and we are like misusing the car for unnecessary reason. We are also burning money. So I'm like, what if we can implement something like that in Liberia? That was the first question that came to my mind. And at that time, I wasn't really good. I was just good at front end stuff, not really, really good. I was still learning. So I wanted something fast. So I built it using WordPress. When I built it using WordPress for the first time. And then it went, and then I have my friends that criticize me. They say, oh, your parents are paying plenty of money for you. to learn computer and then using WordPress and things. I'm like, come on, bro, I want to do something quick. I don't really have time. At that time, I was into system engineering. I was into software engineering at that time. So I was just learning about programming on the side during my free times and things. So, and then the criticism was a lot. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to build this thing from scratch, from ground up, using my entire, like, all that I know. And that's how. Eddie, I couldn't get you. Are you referring to me? So like, I went and then I decided to build it from ground up. I talked with my friend Michelle, and we worked together. He's a very good friend of mine. We decided to do it from scratch. We changed it from WordPress. We moved to PHP. We use PHP for the backend. We use JavaScript for the front end, and we built it up from ground up. And then it solved our problem. It was much faster. It was easy to use, and we had like good feedback from people. Yeah, till then, that actually pushed me. It made me decided to like give my all into a software engineering world. And since then, Omo Market has been running for 6 years now. We stay going, and we will be coming up with the latest features for Omo Market in 2 months, probably.
So, Omo Market, does it work in Liberia? I mean, if I want to do a purchase on it or do a sale on it, is it like an open place where an individual can go and open their own shop and sell things there, or how does it work?
Yeah, just like that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
That's why I'm about to suggest
Can
you
you
could
see
just
my
show the
screen?
platform. Yeah, we are seeing your screen.
Okay. This is Omo Market. Once you click on here, it's gonna take you. It's already open here actually.
Wait, I think you have to reshare. We are not seeing the screen that you are trying to display.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay. Now it's
Yeah. That screen is available.
You see the screen, right? Like this one.
Yeah.
Which one are you seeing? I don't know which one I'm
Yeah,
sharing.
we see the browser
We
screen.
see
Yeah.
Omo Market sell and buy anything in Liberia. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. My server is down? I don't know.
No, it should be on because I actually open maybe it's your network.
I don't think it's my network. Probably the hook.
Okay. I can share from my side. So this
Yeah,
is
you can try it. Oh
Yeah.
my server IP address could not be found.
the
I'm gonna
Omo-
stop here.
this is it. This is
Stop
Omo
sharing
Market.
This is it.
Okay.
Why am I never accessing it?
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
Omo Market.
are you seeing my screen or Omo screen? Which one are you seeing? My screen?
Yeah, I see yours.
Okay.
We are
So yeah. So this is you can create a profile. You can log in if you have items. Some items you want to sell. You can upload them. Write the details, the price, and then buyers can come and contact you here. Something like this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's almost like you see when you have Alibaba, right? You
Yes.
have
Hey, Baba.
let's go Amazon, but the only thing here right now, you
eBay.
cannot buy online with credit card right now, but you can talk, you can contact the owner of the items, and you can be able to pay for it, with cash.
Okay.
You can also get access to like stores in Liberia. Like Jackson, can you calm down a little bit? Calm down.
Okay.
You see, like these are stores, like registered businesses in Liberia. We have some like Nourish Brothers. You can see some Nourish Brothers have like 44 items listed. Nourish
Yeah.
Brothers.
So you see the business need and the numbers of items they already have on the site.
Click on it and see the business profile, the time they open, when they open, Monday to Sunday or Saturday or whatever, and their phone number and things. Yeah, this is a
People are selling cars and cars. People are also selling cars.
anything, anything legal actually, anything legal because we have to, we have to make it clear and thin.
Right.
But trust me, nothing is impossible. Okay, this is where Umomaki get money from. This ad you see here, because we don't get money from.
Google AdSense, right? Google
Yeah.
Ad.
And this is one of the things that you can actually be able to make money as a software engineer. So many ways you can make money. You can innovate, create something new, or build something and just write and put ad on it, or put ad mob and get money at the end of the month. At the same time, making your regular money. So there are so many opportunities in becoming a software engineer. It's not just limited to your work.
Oh,
Yeah, guys. Is there another question?
So
Yeah.
let me check in the chat. Are there any materials for cybersecurity? Someone's asking.
Cybersecurity. That's
Any
interesting.
suggestions or anything about cybersecurity?
Well, cybersecurity, even I have passion for that is good. But what I can say about it, the chances of practicing it in the African set like Liberia, in Liberia is a bit hard because you don't have the necessary materials to practice it. So I won't really kind of like recommend people to go into that right away. The most important thing is about you learning something and being able to use it. Because if you learn it and you're using it, that's when you kind of you grow in it. But if you want to become a cyber security, there are two types, but the most common one is white hacker, where in which you have to be able to protect your company's network. And if you can go for that, that would be okay. But to do that, you have to have experience in working with Kali Linux, any of these Linux operating CentOS or Kali Linux. It's also great. There are money in it. They have money in it, but the job opportunity is actually slim. It's slim. It's less.
Okay, thank you. Okay, why
Hello.
we are still waiting for okay. Yeah,
yeah.
Hello.
Somebody's.
hey,
Yeah.
Edwin.
Yeah, for me, I want to ask one question.
Sure.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Sherry,
Yeah.
I just want to know how already, your journey to software started, how already it started, because you mentioned about system engineering,
Yeah.
and then later you diverted to software.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm a system engineer. I'm a system engineer. That's what I can always say. That's where I have my diploma and stuff in everything. But then I never really, the mentality, because when I was growing up, I had my bigger brothers, they were like friends, relatives and things, they were working at this bank, system administrators, and I have passion for that. But I started coding when I was in high school, actually. I first started with front end as a front end. But at that time, I didn't even know what front end developer was like. But I just used to enjoy playing around with HTML and CSS. But it wasn't something that I looked up to as a career path. So when I was in Ghana, like I said, maybe if there's anyone in Ghana, they might have heard about tonaton.com. It's very
Yeah,
famous.
sure.
Yeah. I saw Tonaton. Tonaton motivated me. And then I met a Ghanaian software engineer called OC. He was a very good guy. And he was the guy that I bought my, when you're a system engineer, you need like a strong computer that can be able to hold, it should have this Hyper extension for visualization where you can use virtual machines and things on it.
Yeah, virtual machine, VMware.
Yeah, VMware. So he provided a computer. I still have the computer actually. I get it. That's the thing. Yeah. You see this computer?
Yeah,
This computer has helped me so I can never forget about it. It's still working. It's still great. I bought it from him, and he was having a web design company, so he was very good. And when I started, he started teaching me some stuff and things. That's when I realized, okay, system engineering is great, it's fun, but there's nothing that I really have to think, because something I really love thinking. I love solving problems, and it wasn't what I was really doing and things. So that's why I decided to change my path. And since I came to Turkey, God helped me also. I will like grow more into it, completed it. it wasn't easy, bro. Trust me, it wasn't easy. It been a off and on thing where in which, but I can say I was lucky, because majority of the things that I tried work out. It wasn't that tough for me, but there are so many, psychological stresses that you have to go through, and in majority of these stresses, especially, especially working from home. Working from home, you're home all the time. You're just working, 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 and you don't really have that social interaction like other people. But if you really, really want to do it, you don't have to limit yourself to what you're learning. Don't just limit yourself to what you're learning. You have to try new things and try to grow. That's one thing I love about Jackson. You see Jackson? Oh my God! Like, I don't know what they do, I don't know. Like, he's trying everything. He got his PhD in computational science, but anywhere you go, he's there. Like, anywhere he's there, and that's the thing. That's what we have to be doing in Liberia. Like, we shouldn't limit ourselves. I'm not saying getting good at one thing is a problem, but limiting yourself to one thing, it limits your opportunities. It limits the chances of you being able to work to the international standard.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you. I think I saw Dave raising his hand, right? Any question?
Yes.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah. Hello, Musa.
Yeah, hi, David.
Hey, buddy. Thank you very much, man, for the inspiration. Been kind of following your conversation down here, and I can say that I'm, so much proud of you. Yeah, for the job you're doing. I understand how hard it is to put in that effort, that time. Consistency. Um, to get where you are right now. And I just want to say that you can do more.
Thank you
Keep
very much.
pushing and keep doing your best and keep trying to inspire the generation of you. I was just trying to look at this guy that is now kind of trending in America. He's from Nigeria. I think his name is Awatuna, and he built Calendar,
Yeah,
the software Calendar that most people use. I use Calendar, and this a software this guy built is actually on the UX exchange now with a market cap of almost 10 million. Can you imagine that? And all he did was sat in his room, put his time and the effort. And then when I look around me, I see software on my computer, on my watch. It's basically the iWatch that we use, or the smart watches that we use. And then every other application that we use, or even the cars that we drive, right? If you want to build good cars, you need good software. Like a Tesla it's on the world market, and because Tesla have a pretty good software as compared to the competitor. And I just realized that I think this area is somewhere that each and every one of us have to have some power in, understand how it works, and because, and one thing again, I've also learned over the past months is that if you have a degree of some knowledge, not actually a degree, because for me, I don't really believe in a traditional education now. Like Jackson always, you don't really have to get a degree because you can get the information from anywhere, right? You can really make use of it. But if you really have your hands on in this area, you cannot actually go on a job. I haven't seen anybody who has a knowledge in a software engineering actually on a job. That they all got job, and they all got like 4, 5, 6 jobs. They got side calls. They got things that they do from home. They got things that they a partner on to do. It just a very big area, man. So I want to say thank you very much. Keep inspiring your generation, man. I hope that more people can see this and come to understand that we are in the information era, and being this era means that we should all, start to understand computer science and also boil down to your era. So thank you so much. I appreciate your effort.
Thank you very much, David. I'm so happy to hear that from you, and thank you very much, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. And thank you also for joining us from David is actually part of SES. He's also working on uh, uh, a subdivision of SES that we will introduce later. We call like Edu Assist, like for like a program that will enable people to study abroad, but that is still at the very beginning or the embryonic stage. So we're going to work on it in subsequent time. We'll let everyone know, once when it comes to when it's fully developed. Yeah, so thank you, and we are glad, for your contribution also and to be part of this webinar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why SES is for, like as Omo mentioned earlier on, like the networking, the interactions, bringing on board their different minds of like people from diverse background and be able to share knowledge with others. If you are a multi-potentialist, like people who have interest in so many. For me, I'm just a side hustler.
Well, that's the best thing, you have to hustle.
Yeah, so I'm always interested like in learning new things. So that's one of the things that led to this platform, like continuum, or continuing studies, because you always there's always opportunity to learn. Like you can go, like there are lots of emerging fields like UX or UI, user experience or the US researcher. So there are lots of areas, the new areas, like the machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so forth. So you just need to be like either self-motivated, and you can do anything you want to do. Once you have the passion and put in time, you can be able to do that. Yeah, so that's why, like, and honestly, some of us like they didn't have like some of these or like some of these opportunities where people will come on a platform and explain or share their personal experiences with work. But this alone can help you in deciding if you want to become a software engineer or maybe a computational biologist, or you want to be a developer and so forth. So we hope that people will be able to share the message with others, you know, and there are lots more to come. This is just the beginning of SES, and we have a lot more potential in us and can be able to do more. Okay, I actually have a kind of simple questions for Omo. I still have like a few more questions, but I just want to come in. Okay, as someone I'm a newbie, or someone maybe interested from your discussion, I want to become a software engineer. So what could be the best two programming languages you would suggest to anyone who want to become a software engineer?
Oh, that's a that's interesting. Well, actually, there is no best programming languages, so you just have to find like you have to get a purpose, what you want to do. But if you are looking for what to get you a job, JavaScript is number one, like the front end engineering. They are highly in demand. JavaScript. When you're done with the vanilla JavaScript, you can do one of React JS or Vue.js. Once you do that, you can start working, making money, and then learning other languages for personal growth or for the bigger money.
So what's about like the I know programming requires some a lot of mathematical, knowledge or applications of things. So what's about the math? If I'm not good at mathematics?
That's why I said front end engineering. Back end engineering, that's where you have to deal with data structure, a lot of
Mhm.
math. But math is not really majority of this is just interior math. These linear concrete math things, not something difficult. Like, wait, let me see if I can just show a code of a percentage calculation that we did for one of our program. I think that will make people understand. It's actually so simple. It's not hard. Like, people make it look like it's so hard, but it is not. I hope my boss may not see me sharing a code. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, is my screen accessible right now? Is my screen
Yeah.
accessible?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are seeing it.
Yeah, let me make this here. We have a calculation that does percentage calculation for our clients, and I come it's right here. The telephone. Jeff, you have controller. It's in here. This does the prices stuff. Sigorta şirketleri. Sorry, like these photos, some are named in Turkish, so you won't really get that well. We put this one, Egypt telephone. Okay. Chroma paket teklif oluştu. Sistema fiyat version 1. But you see right here, this is just simple calculation you see right there. And what we're doing right here, we take the normal price of the phone brand, for example, because we sell phone insurance. If the phone is iPhone, let's say iPhone 14 Pro Max, like $1,500. And what we're gonna do, we'll check if the price is less than 5,000 Turkish money, we'll return the insurance as 600 Turkish lira for the 1 year insurance for that phone. But if the price is equal to 6,000, these are just you see basic math, not anything big. But if the price is more than any of that, we just add, because in programming, one of the things, the multiplications comes before the addition because the value of multiplications are higher. So we multiply this, and after multiplying this, before we add the result from this one to this one. So simple math, actually, nothing, something difficult.
With a lot of if condition, LF conditions.
Yes. This is the control statement. What it does, it first it's going to check for this first line, step by step. I talk about data structure, right? This is arranging your code into a block. Like we first check here if what we're checking for, if it is, you see, this is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. So if it is less than or equal to the one, automatically we'll just return it 600. But if it is more than, if it is equal to 600, or this is or in programming, or it is less than or equal to 700, or it is equal to 800, or it is less than or equal to 900. I just know more in a trust me. The only complicated algorithm we have here, this is actually share this. I'm going to share it actually. I'm sure they won't see it. So the only one we have here, yeah, you see this one called pay algo. It's a payment algorithm we have right here. They will convert the credit card details into AES encryption, and then the sub password that will also define right here. This password will convert it to this one, which is this one hash the key using SH256 string value. So like this is just generating a hash key for the credit card details, the payment details, because if you don't do that, like someone talking about cyber security, if you don't do this one, hackers can easily intercept the credit card, that person's credit card, and it can create problem. But math is just engineering math, not anything difficult. So anyone can do it actually. Anyone can do it. Well, is there another question, Professor? Or was I able to answer your question? Actually, it's not about another question.
Yeah, it's okay. I know there are
I think it was explained to
linear
me.
algebra, matrices, and a lot of errors involved. Because it's like sometimes people may say, "Oh, there are lots of math," so I don't want to become a software engineer. So that's why I'm actually asking the question.
So it's basic math. But if you want to be a game developer, you have to be good at physics.
Yeah.
Game development, I will not allow. But this is one of the things people fail to understand. Like at some companies, mostly into scientific research, these companies and things, they have mathematicians. These mathematicians are ready to do the calculation. They bring the calculation and the formula, and the programmers use that calculation and formulas to build a function or software around that. That's how it works. And they got mathematicians, they got software engineers, but they also work together.
Yeah, do we have, I don't think we have any questions from Facebook. There's no question there. Anyone with any concerns or questions for the presenter?
Yeah, so if there's no question, I think then we can see how we can call this a day, because
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going like almost 1 hour, 26 minutes. Yeah, so thank you everyone. Thank you for being part of our webinar or seminar. You know, we are just delighted, and more especially to the speakers, to Omo or Musa. You know, it has been a kind of amazing presentation. Thank you for the knowledge, for the awareness. And we hope that like we are actually intending to make software engineering to be one of our courses at SES. So if we have like at least 10 persons or certain numbers of students interested, then we can be able to offer the course, you know. And it's also waiting to offer its services, so that would really be great. You know, like SES is still, we are still at the beginning, so we offering like fewer courses, you know, but in subsequent time we'll have like so many courses, and we'll have a kind of like special certificate program where, for instance, before you become a software engineer, maybe you can do like maybe 4, 5, 6 courses, you know, similar courses within our department. But for now, we just focusing on the course and get a certificate, you know. Yeah, but in subsequent time, we're gonna work on these things. But like, you know, as the user say, the user saying goes, you know, Rome was never built in a day. So we are gradually building SES together with you, the students. And for people, if you are new, we have our Facebook page. You can check it out, our School of Continuing Studies, or you can also contact us. We're going to add you. We just created a community called SES Community. So it's where we make announcements. So if you are in that WhatsApp group, you have like direct interactions or first-hand relationship with us. We share information, and we have a lot of WhatsApp groups that you can be able to ask questions, you know. And we are also working on the next term, which will begin hopefully by September. But before that, we'll have a pre-registration, maybe end of this month or in July. So once the form, when we complete the form, I'm going to share the link with you. You can fill the link and you can choose the courses you want to do. So one of the things at SES is that we don't want to burn you with so many courses. So you can take at most 2 courses. So you get 1 or at most 2 courses. Yeah, so the selection time will come when you be able to select the courses you want to do. Yeah. And we will go through the data, and we'll know how many persons are interested, maybe in the doctorate to Chinese language, the Python for everyone, and so forth. Yeah, so watch out for the pre-registration form. But in the meanwhile, you can follow on Facebook. We also have our website. You know, you can get some of like the detail. We have our contact numbers. You know, like some of you know us personally, so you can also, you know, contact us directly. And I think that's it from my end. I just want to say, you know, finally, thank you to everyone. Thank you to the presenter. Number, if you have anything, maybe you're gonna add it up, you can add it up and get closer. Or more, if you have a departing statement, you can also, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I think time is fast spent. We are just going to say thank you to our presenter for today. And then so far, that's it. SES is here. We're here to make sure that people who are willing to learn have the opportunity to learn, and that the traditional classroom where you have to get ready 8 o'clock to go to school before you learn is not the only means of learning. You can sit at home from the comfort of your home and just open your computer and be able to learn from somebody who is not even in the country. So, and that's what SES is doing now. So many thanks to all of you who made it your business to be here today, and also to our presenter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone, and I wish everyone a blessed for night. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, and the recording will also be available on our so it will be on Facebook, but we'll also upload it on our YouTube channel. So we want to share the link by tomorrow. Yeah. So good night from our end, and see you like someone asked, we'll have another seminar maybe end of this month or early July. Like every month we try to bring people from different fields to share their experiences. Yeah. It's continual learning. So we always have continual like webinar and our courses here at SES.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Good night. I'm in here for everyone.
Good night. Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.